So actually, let's do a little bit more on Joe's interpretation or sense that he's, going outside of himself when he's smoking DMT. So he says stuff like, it feels like another place. It seems like he's going to a different dimension. And when he's there, it feels more real than even a waking life does, which of course is, a pretty common occurrence. I mean, at least dream workers, basically all of them will attest to having occasional experiences like this. Even in like just, your more typical lucid dreams, it can seem like colors can be more vibrant, your senses can be heightened, and it can feel more real than waking reality. But also within dreams, you can have these, more powerful, probably more rare type of dream experiences, at least for me, where you go like to these spirit realms or even kind of like sleep yoga stuff where, you'll be like this pinpoint of awareness and, just vast blank nothingness, and how those experiences can be so powerful and profound that even though it looks nothing like waking life, it can still feel and seem more real than, your quote unquote real life does. He also says stuff like, it feels like you're communicating with an uber powerful entity, something that's like way beyond your wildest imagination and could feel and seem godlike. Again, a lot of dream workers out there, and if you watch your dreams, you will have experiences like this. I think even, people who don't watch and follow their dreams, they probably occasionally have experiences like this, but then they'll just wake up and they'll slip out your mind like typical dreams do, and you just won't even be able to remember or recall you had it. Which again is why it's so important to dream journal and try and watch and follow your dreams, because you can have, a lot of these amazing experiences, but if you don't, diligently try to retain that in your memory, that shit's gone before you know it, right? He also talks about how they seem to be able to communicate with you telepathically and knows everything about you, and it's there to like trying to impart some ideas or thoughts into you that can help you in your life. Which to me, that's kind of why I think, a lot of times where I'm kind of more on like it's only coming from within you and not an outside entity. Because, like, why would an all-powerful God really, really care about you personally? I mean, hell, maybe they would. But it seems like just as plausible, if not more so, that could be your own subconscious mind, trying to serve you up some good shit to help and, steady, right the ship and fix your, your awakened, quote-unquote, real life. So those are just some of my thoughts on it there. Again, all the stuff he talks about. That's why I wish you would have like a dream worker on his show so they could kind of like talk about how similar these DMT experiences seem to dream work. And plus, if you're gonna, and I'm gonna probably do another video on this, but I'll just say it right here too, psychedelics can be pretty dangerous. One of my best friends, I mean, pretty much my best friend, he's kind of, fallen off the deep end recently, sadly, but, he did like a super mega dose of mushrooms one time and went schizophrenic. And then it was just kind of like a slow but progressive downhill, like ever since, right? So psychedelics, no doubt they can be useful and powerful and can help a lot, but they're also quite dangerous. Like I think if psilocybin and all this stuff gets full-blown legalized, which hell I'm down for, I just think you should have a lot of like training and classwork on it before you do it. And also maybe even do like, some kind of background check on your family history to see if you have a history of, psychosis or something like that. Because it really can. I mean, like I said, I saw it happen. One big dose, and my best friend, kind of lost his marbles with it. So, nonetheless, what was I saying there? That's why I think if you can popularize this DreamWorks stuff, you can have these same type of powerful, meaningful experiences, but in a whole hell of a lot safer way. Now, of course, it sucks because, you can't get it on command like you can if you just smoke DMT or whatever. But it just seems so much safer. Another thing that they brought up, in the podcast is how there could be sometimes like a long hangover effect for smoking the DMT where, you just don't really seem like you yourself, even though you're going to work and doing all your regular shit that you need to do. You just feel and seem a little bit off, kind of like downing off of all sorts of drugs will make you feel, right? You don't really feel the same. So it just seems a lot safer and, and easier and accessible to everybody if they just did it through, the dream work practice.